Always about making us feel our common humanity beyond separate identities? A black George Washington in Hamilton, of course. But Ryan Gosling as Frederick Douglass? Yes, that would be problematic. Ditto Shia LaBeouf as Shaft. It's... Why don't we just go by merit and let the best actor win? Which seems like what happened when Ana de Armas just got picked to play Marilyn Monroe, even though she's Cuban with an accent. Hey, maybe she should play Fidel Castro.
If you think Maher's battle with a woke Hollywood is finished, think again. The last time he called out actors and actresses for their performative activism, it sparked a full-blown Hollywood meltdown. And now, guess who's in his sights today?
Listening to the casting police and go back to doing their job, which is picking the best actor for the role. Now, I mention this because a lot of people lately are either apologizing for or calling on others to apologize for playing roles they call appropriation. James Franco was just chosen to play Fidel Castro, and John Leguizamo posted, "No more appropriation, boycott." I don't got a problem with Franco, but he ain't Latino. Okay, but John Leguizamo is Colombian American. He ain't a Venetian, but he played one.
And that's the real issue with many of these so-called casting police. When the system works in their favor, it's suddenly hailed as progress. But the moment it doesn't, they cry discrimination. The hypocrisy is hard to miss. It's almost as though their outrage has little to do with justice or artistic integrity, and everything to do with self-interest. Behind all the virtue signaling, you can sense that money, attention, and status are the true motivations. They're not fighting for art to thrive, they're fighting to keep their spotlight, and they'll bend any narrative to hold on to it.
Or an Italian plumber, but he played them too, because he's... because he's an actor. Why the hell do you think people become actors? Because they want to spend their life not being who they are.
I can't help but wonder what John Leguizamo was really thinking when he made that post. After all, he's long benefited from a system built on the very freedom he's now criticizing, the freedom to portray characters beyond one's background or identity. That's what acting is meant to be, art without borders. It's about stepping into someone else's shoes, telling stories that push the imagination, and connecting with audiences through emotion, not ancestry. The beauty of performance lies in transformation, in becoming someone you're not. So when Leguizamo suddenly draws those boundaries, it feels less like progress and more like virtue wrapped in hypocrisy.
Forgivable sin until you remember that's what acting is. That's why acting jobs are called roles. Sean Penn won an Oscar for playing gay civil rights martyr Harvey Milk. At the time, it was considered a courageous act of solidarity for a straight male movie star to play a homosexual. Now it's the opposite. Eddie Redmayne played a transgender woman in The Danish Girl, but now calls that a mistake because many people don't have a chair at the table. Well, actually, in movies now they do. And what does it have to do with you playing trans? Does it then work the other way? Can trans actors only play trans characters? Because that's not going to be a good deal for them.
And I agree, Eddie Redmayne had no reason to apologize for doing what he does best, act. He's one of the most talented and versatile performers of his generation, and his work in The Danish Girl was remarkable. He approached the role with depth, empathy, and respect, offering the trans community a thoughtful and human portrayal on screen. So what exactly was the issue? The outrage felt misplaced. But that's often the pattern with the woke crowd, they're rarely satisfied. Even when someone tries to honor their cause through art, they'll still find something to be offended by. It's no longer about progress, it's about enforcing a standard of perfection that doesn't exist.
Always about making us feel our common humanity beyond separate identities? A black George Washington in Hamilton, of course. But Ryan Gosling as Frederick Douglass? Yes, that would be problematic. Ditto Shia LaBeouf as Shaft. It's... Why don't we just go by merit and let the best actor win? Which seems like what happened when Ana de Armas just got picked to play Marilyn Monroe, even though she's Cuban with an accent. Hey, maybe she should play Fidel Castro and...
As I mentioned earlier, it's hard not to suspect that some people have a hidden agenda behind all this outrage. Consider this: when an actor from a minority background takes on a traditionally white role, it's celebrated as progress and representation. But when a white actor plays a minority character, it's suddenly problematic, labeled as cultural appropriation. How does that make sense? Art should be a space where talent, not identity, takes center stage. This double standard reveals the selective outrage fueling much of the debate. Ma is right to call it out, because fairness can't be conditional. You either believe in artistic freedom, or you don't. You can't have it both ways.
And then we can all stay in our lanes. Is that what diversity and inclusion look like now? Everybody's staying in their lane? Lawrence of Arabia was gay. Peter O'Toole wasn't. I can live with that. Because he was so cool, he almost made me gay. Emma Stone caught hell for playing a Hawaiian, Jake Gyllenhaal for playing a Persian, Gal Gadot for wanting to play Cleopatra, Johnny Depp for playing an Indian, even though he's not an actual Comanche, and spoiler alert, he also doesn't really have scissors.
People need to let art breathe again. Without constant interference from woke policing, art can do what it's meant to do: challenge, inspire, and reflect the full range of human experience. It's a celebration of imagination, not a checklist of identity quotas. When we dictate who can or can't play a role based on race, gender, or background, we strip creativity of its essence. Hollywood, at its core, is also a business. Producers invest millions into projects, and they deserve the freedom to cast whoever they believe can best embody a character and deliver a strong performance, and yes, provide a return on that investment. Audiences don't buy tickets to watch identity politics. They pay to experience great storytelling, real emotion, and genuine art.
Now says that if Philadelphia were made today, he wouldn't do it because the character was gay and he's not. Well, besides the fact that this would force all gay actors to reveal their sexuality, even if they didn't want to, great actors, which Tom is one, try hard to keep their private lives private so we don't think of their real lives when we see them in a movie that attempts to transport us into a different world. Could you really look at this actress now and not think of the trial? Should she only play bedshitters now?
The problem isn't just that the woke crowd insists only people with matching identities and backgrounds should play certain characters, they're also diminishing the audience's ability to fully enjoy a film. Acting has always been about transformation, about stepping outside oneself to become someone else. But when every casting choice is filtered through politics and identity, the magic fades. Viewers are no longer immersed in the story, they're thinking about who the actor is off-screen and whether they were the correct choice for the role. The result is often shallow, predictable performances that feel forced rather than inspired. Instead of being swept away by the illusion of cinema, audiences are pushed to analyze the politics behind it. Art turns into messaging, and storytelling, one of humanity's most powerful forms of connection, risks becoming just another arena for ideological control.
Lewis really like? I haven't a clue, which is why he's so great. Because when he plays Lincoln, I only see Lincoln. I don't think, well, there's a British heterosexual. But Hanks says, I don't think people would accept the inauthenticity of a straight guy playing a gay guy because, quote, we're beyond that now. Don't get him started on bosom buddies. I mean, really? Does Forrest Gump get thrown under the bus too because Tom isn't really mentally challenged? And as far as we're beyond that, no, that implies progress. This is the opposite.
Ma absolutely nails it. This isn't progress, it's regression dressed up as virtue. Instead of uniting people through a shared appreciation of art and talent, this obsession with identity-based casting only deepens division. For decades, acting has been rooted in empathy, the ability to explore and portray experiences far beyond one's own. Yet now, the woke crowd insists that only those with identical traits should play certain roles. Ma brilliantly exposes the absurdity of this logic with sharp sarcasm. If we apply this rule literally, then only actors with mental illness should portray characters who are mentally ill. It's a dangerous and nonsensical path. By imposing these purity tests, we aren't celebrating diversity, we're dismantling it, piece by piece, under the guise of moral superiority.
Typical of so much wokeness that doesn't build on liberalism, it undoes it. Empathy, putting yourself in someone else's place so you can understand them better, used to be the very heart of liberalism. Now it's considered offensive, because don't even try to put yourself in my shoes, because you could never know. What a bunch of that always was. Of course, no one can ever know exactly what another person's struggle is, but we try.
Empathy was never a partisan virtue. It didn't belong to liberals, nor was it foreign to conservatives. Both sides practiced it in their own way, the simple act of stepping into someone else's shoes, of trying to understand their struggles even if you couldn't fully experience them yourself. That ability allowed people to connect beyond politics, ideology, and identity. Unfortunately, that value is now being challenged. The fringe left insists that no one can truly understand another's pain unless they've lived it personally. But that mindset doesn't protect empathy, it destroys it. It isolates people within their own experiences and replaces compassion with suspicion. When we stop trying to relate to one another, we lose a vital part of our humanity, the very foundation on which art, culture, and community are built.
Book about a white man who darkened his skin and went out into society because he wanted to understand what his black brothers and sisters were up against. Today, all the woke mob would see about that was a guy who did blackface. Steven Spielberg recently remade West Side Story and bent over backwards to respect ethnicities and ended up pleasing nobody. And it's too bad, because the original musical was created by Stephen Sondheim, Arthur Lawrence, and Leonard Bernstein, three gay...
And that's the saddest part of all, no one can ever truly satisfy the woke mob. They're never content, never forgiving, and rarely consistent. Their outrage is endless, their standards impossible, and their sense of proportion long gone. They demand apologies, but when they get them, they twist them into proof of guilt. Even cultural giants like Steven Spielberg, who has shaped generations with his films and often embraced progressive causes, aren't spared. He's re-edited classics to appease them, yet they still find something to attack. The irony is brutal. The more you try to please them, the more they devour you. They don't create culture, they police it. And because their standards are so unrealistically high, they end up consuming their own, turning Hollywood into a graveyard of self-censorship and fear.
Things don't even dance. And now they're making a movie about Leonard Bernstein, and Bradley Cooper is playing it. I mean, if he can get through the picket lines. You see, like Rachel Brosnahan playing Mrs. Maisel and Helen Mirren playing Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir. Bradley is, sadly, a Gentile. And that's the new sin in Hollywood, being a non-Jewish actor portraying a Jew. Because that's always been the problem in Hollywood, not enough.
Actors should be free to explore their craft and push the boundaries of their talent without fear of being policed by ideological gatekeepers. The essence of acting lies in transformation, stepping outside one's own identity to bring someone else's story to life. That freedom to experiment and stretch beyond personal limits is what makes great performances possible. Hollywood already has plenty of real problems to fix: systemic racism, unfair pay gaps, exploitative contracts, and the dominance of studio politics. The last thing the industry needs is another layer of self-righteous policing dictating who can play which role. Casting should be about skill, not social approval. When creativity is shackled by fear of backlash, everyone loses: the artists, the audience, and the art itself. Let actors act, and let art remain the open space it was always meant to be. At the end of the day, Bill Maher is right, Hollywood has lost the plot. The industry that once celebrated imagination and storytelling now bows to ideological purity tests that stifle creativity. Art isn't about ticking diversity boxes or pleasing Twitter mobs. It's about expression, empathy, and truth. When actors fear taking on certain roles and producers cast out of obligation rather than inspiration, we all lose. Audiences deserve authenticity, not political correctness masquerading as progress. If Hollywood truly wants to promote diversity, it should start by defending artistic freedom, the very thing that made it great. Because once you censor art, you don't just destroy the film industry, you destroy the shared human experience it was meant to reflect. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.